Hello and welcome back. This is Candace from Candoodle, and today I have a card using some Halloween stamps that I'm stretching to make a birthday card. So let's get started. So I am using two different stamp sets from Pawsome Stamps. This is the Witch's Lair add-on stamp set and the Witch's Lair stamp set. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually don't like Halloween as a holiday, but these stamp sets are super cute and have a ton of cute images that can be used for other things. I know Halloween isn't like a holiday for everybody and some people don't like it, but I wanted to show how you can stretch your stamps and use smaller stamps from these holiday sorts of sets for different things. So for instance, I have a lot of friends and family members who are very into like witchy things, crystal balls, potions, that sort of stuff, and find that like very aesthetic. So I thought that this could make a really cool birthday card, especially with the sentiment that says have a wicked birthday. So that was kind of my inspiration for this card, and I think coloring potions is so fun. I'm not sure if any of you have seen Alberto on Instagram, who does the most magical Copic coloring, and he's done some with potions, and I think that they're so cool. So that was kind of one of the inspirations for this as well. So I just started kind of plotting out where my images were going to go on the card. I wanted this to kind of look like a wall that was full of all little shelves that held little potions and books and different things. Like it was like a witch's sort of lair. And so I kind of just moved those two little shelving pieces all around, and I didn't make sure that they were super even. I just wanted to have good coverage around the whole card. And that's why I started with my sentiment in the center, because I knew if I were to do the shelves first, there was no way that I would have room for a sentiment unless I did overlay, but I wanted this to be a clean and simple one layer card. And then as you can see, I'm coming in with different potions and the crystal balls and things like that from each of the different sets to kind of fill those shelves. I also had these really cute hanging little spiders, which I masked off the shelves to stamp down there. And my other one, you can see it doesn't attach to the shelf, but I'm just going to come in with a Copic multi-liner and attach that to the shelf. And that way my whole area is kind of covered in, and I don't have any huge open spaces on the card, and the spaces that I do have open I can fill with gems or sequins afterwards. So I started off by coloring my shelves, and I'm using my Copic e-markers. You could use whatever sort of coloring medium you prefer. I only showed how to do one of them because I colored all of the shelves the exact same. And I think that the brown is really quite nice, and I use these Copics all the time anytime I'm coloring anything that's supposed to be wooden. And then for each of the potions, I kind of chose a different color. I stuck to mostly like greens, purples, pinks, blues, and orange. So basically the rainbow. I like how I said that as if I was going to stick to a color scheme, but really I ended up kind of sticking to the rainbow. And I just tried to make it darker towards the top and lighter towards the bottom, which usually I do the opposite, but I wanted these to kind of look very glowy and cool, which, like I said, I was inspired by Alberto's coloring on Instagram. I will never be able to color like that, but I can try and, take the gist of his coloring, which is very like whimsical and sort of glowy, and I try to apply that in a way that I could with my skills. So anytime you see somebody that you're inspired by, you can always kind of adapt it to your own style or take the general idea from that and make it a bit simpler for your skills. So you can see which Copic colors I'm using on the left-hand side. For the crystal ball, I wanted it to be purple, but still be kind of dark and moody. So I ended up using my BVs, which I feel like I never use enough. Speaking of not using things enough, I feel like my craft supplies in general haven't gotten a whole lot of use lately. And I know I did take a bit of a step back from YouTube and didn't post for a little while at the end of last year. And I do apologize for that, but last semester was just so dense. It was probably one of the toughest semesters of my life, and that's saying something considering this is year 9 of post-secondary education for me. The course content was lovely, like it was neurology and musculoskeletal, and it was super interesting, but it was just so dense and there was so much content to get through in such a short amount of time that really my whole life that wasn't school just kind of went on the back burner, crafting included. So I really appreciate all of you who are still here and still encouraging me, despite my somewhat chaotic presence on YouTube. But I also just want to encourage anybody else out there who feels like maybe you don't have enough time to craft, or if you're feel like you're doing too much or too little, be gentle with yourself. Our life circumstances, our motivation, everything kind of ebbs and flows. And this is a wonderful hobby that's always going to be there for you. And if you can make time to craft, that's wonderful. But if you don't have the time for it right now, that's okay too. So I just hope that you remember that and you're not alone if you're feeling that way too. So that was a long tangent, but nonetheless, I came back in with my jelly roll to finish off the card and add some spells to that book, and then I added some embellishments, and that is the final card. So you have to let me know if you like it down below in the comments. As always, I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye!